The human race is filled with passion. Medicine, law, business, engineering, these are noble pursuits and necessary to sustain life. But poetry, beauty, romance, love, these are what we stay alive for.
Venice was such a beautiful place to visit, especially for an artist, I think. I see why they call it the City of Light. I remember often thinking that this would be the perfect place to paint Impressionist paintings, because Impressionist painters were known to have been fascinated with light and the effects of light. Unsurprisingly, I wasn't the only one to think so, and none other than Claude actually painted Venice and made a humble 37 paintings of its landmarks, its buildings, and shimmering water. His exploration and play of light on the buildings and the water gives his paintings an otherworldly and whimsical quality which I really like, and I actually feel this reflects the true effect the city had on me. I think I understand a little more how the Impressionist movement sought to show reality more accurately than a photograph ever could. Because although there is an objective scene before us which we can capture with photographs and film, the impression a place has on us is truly how we see it. I've been romanticising the little sweet moments. I see the value in beauty and ornamentation. Before my art theory exam to get into art school, I took a section of time to research Art Nouveau. It's an ornamental art style and movement which gained popularity between 1890 and 1910 throughout Europe and America. I really enjoyed the shapes and the forms that can be seen in this movement, the decorative and delicate elements and the beauty in the human form, the fitting natural elements that complement it, and the bolder elements such as hints of gold or silver in suns or stars or in the border that frames our protagonist. I did some sketching and brainstorming in a few cafes. I love going to cafes and farting out creative projects, but I didn't take any videos of myself because that is incredibly embarrassing in a public space. I took some videos of when I drew in the botanical gardens in my art university. Surrounded by trees and flowers, with old buildings overflowing with vines, it is rather the perfect place to feel inspired and draw beautiful natural elements. I took that place an opportunity to also study drawing some flowers that I might incorporate into the project. I don't often draw flowers, so I appreciated the short practice. It took me a lot of sketching and brainstorming before ideas actually started working. Things weren't harmonious and just didn't flow until I took the time to look at a lot of Art Nouveau works and implement some of the things I was seeing into my sketches and practice. And it became clear here what areas I still hadn't pinned down. The flowers needed some work, for example. But I also reached a point where it became clear that I couldn't get the human form right. I still don't really understand and know the human form or how it works. I don't really understand the skeletal and muscular structure and all the elements that make up the human body, and this means my attempts at representing human bodies lacks confidence and assuredness. I think you can see this in my attempts at representing the human body, where my workmanship lacks confidence and assuredness, and my creative expression and freedom is limited by the boundaries of lacking a strong understanding of the core and fundamentals. In other words, you have to understand the rules before you can break them and make something impactful. But I think the timing is actually pretty good because art school is starting soon and I'm taking anatomy classes this semester and sculpture, and I'm excited to hopefully study and understand this subject a lot more thoroughly. That's become a big goal for me this semester, and I hope to come back to this project applying what I will learn at university. Lately I've felt kind of uninspired by the usual art making processes and mediums that I usually use. I don't know, I've just sort of felt a bit lost with it. I think it has to do with the fact that my latest big project was like a big project that I was working on for almost a year, and so I always had a big project to be working on at some point. And now I don't really have that because I've moved. But instead, I guess I've felt this urge to try things that I've never done before and that are completely out of my comfort zone, which I think is a good thing. I think it's really cool to have different skill sets. I'm going to be painting anyway, just because I'm going to a painting school, and I am excited about that. But for now, I've just been doing random things. Because it can get kind of boring doing the same thing over and over and over again. So it's interesting to change things up. I guess the big question I've been asking myself is, what do I want to achieve with my art? I feel like increasingly I've been having this curiosity to explore and find options and what are the ways of making impactful art. So I suppose I'm feeling a bit lost on that. I want to make incredible things, and I want to make impactful art, like most artists, obviously. But I don't really know what I want to tell and what I want to show. I don't have a goal, so it's kind of weird. So I have no idea how to sew, but I would love to learn a little bit. So my grandmother's teaching me a little bit, and we're making a skirt together. So we'll see how that goes. I think sewing is like one of the coolest skills ever. Like people who can sew their own clothes, I just think that's such a flex. So who knows, maybe I'll learn a little bit from this project. My hand sewing has improved a lot, having to redo the same stitch 2 million times. I'd like to think that I've gotten a bit more even with all my stitches. I sewed my first pocket. I did that all by hand, and it was very long and monotonous. And now my neck hurts. Yeah, neck pain, worth it. Success.